women are the weaker sex? Are male lawyers favored and female lawyers disfavored? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tina. I'm a corporate lawyer in the Philippines. So in today's episode of Lawyer Secrets, I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the things that only a practicing female lawyer could give you first-hand info on. Having been in Philippine legal practice for years now, and clearly being female, last I checked, I think I've amassed enough personal experience to answer the question that we're tackling today. Is there sexism or discrimination against female lawyers in legal practice? Or at the very least, in legal practice, whether expressly or discreetly, are male lawyers favored and female lawyers disfavored? Is there prejudice against you just because you're a female and not a male lawyer? Now, before getting into this, just a disclaimer, because you know lawyers love disclaimers. Keep in mind that I'm going to be answering these questions with only my own personal experiences as my reference. I cannot answer for others, only for myself. I'm obviously not a gender studies expert, so if any of you guys are, then don't come for me. I'm just telling you my story. Kwentuhan lang tayo in this vlog, you know, keeping it casual. This is just my answer, my kwento, my revelations. Wow, revelations. Okay, disclaimer done. Let's jump in. A bit of informal statistics lang about females in law school and legal practice. When my dad was in UP Law in the early 1970s, there were only a handful of female law students. By 2008, however, when I was in UP Law, females outnumbered the males by a good number. So why the dramatic increase in the number of female law students? It was probably because of the demolition of all of these super outdated gender stereotypes. Meaning, for example, that women belong in the home, and that basically women are the weaker sex who, if they became lawyers, could not hold their own in a boardroom or in a courtroom. Of course, in this day and age, women have completely broken that glass ceiling, but let's get into that later. But anyway, of course, in the 70s, less female law students meant less female lawyers. And in the 2000s, in my time, yes, my time, more female law students meant more female lawyers. In fact, in my first job in the law firm, it's the same law firm that I talked about in my corpo lawyer video. I will leave a link to that video in the description box below. My batch in the law firm consisted of 6 female lawyers and just 2 male lawyers. So, did I ever feel discriminated against as a female lawyer? Okay, so in my years of legal practice, even as a newbie lawyer in the law firm, I personally never felt or experienced discrimination from number 1, my bosses in either the law firm or the corporation. Number 2, my colleagues in the law firm or in the corporation. Or number 3, my clients in the law firm. My female lawyer contemporaries and I were never looked down on or ever made to feel as if we were less than our male counterparts simply because we were female. And rightly so. I mean, ano to, Stone Age? In legal practice in the Philippines, male lawyers and female lawyers are viewed and treated as equals in terms of competence, skill, proficiency. This is just a no-brainer. It's really just common sense. Being lawyers, we all hurdled the same traumatizing law school experiences, the same grueling bar exam. We are all in this together. We are all comrades in this sinkhole called the legal profession. So there's just no way, there would just be absolutely no basis for female lawyers to be discriminated against simply by virtue of their biology, simply by virtue of them being female. In terms of competence, skill, drive, ambition, female lawyers are, pound for pound, perfectly on par with their male colleagues. Women lawyers are just as effective and just as assertive as male lawyers. Whether in the boardroom or in the courtroom, whether in contract negotiations or in arguing a case before a judge. Everyone knows this. By the way, for you guys who are not law students yet, a boardroom is just the room wherein the board of directors of a corporation meet. In fact, I don't think we even need to talk too much about how competence-wise, male and female lawyers are perfectly equal because it's just a given. It's facts. Facts. That being said though, in the legal profession, I will say that there are some preferences which arise from gender attributes. For example, I know of some lawyer bosses who prefer male lawyers for litigation assignments. Because being guys, the perception is that pwede mo silang itapon kahit saan. You can throw them anywhere, kahit ang gulo dun or ang dumi dun. By the way, for you guys who aren't in law school yet, litigation just means that you go to court or to agencies with quasi-judicial powers. Yung mga objection, your honor, etc., etc. So, yun nga, some lawyer bosses prefer male lawyers for litigation work. Why? Because you can supposedly send them to any far-flung court or government agency or island somewhere. You can supposedly send them on any errand, even if it's geographically in a faraway place, or in a dangerous place, or in a dirty or unpleasant place. You can supposedly send them to speak with or to deal with shady or suspicious people. I would say though that that preference isn't, to me, discrimination against women lawyers, because it's not that the bosses think that the women lawyers wouldn't be able to do those tasks as well as male lawyers can. It's not that. The bosses don't think that. In my opinion, I think that they're giving female lawyers the courtesy of not sending them to those places wherein they know that those female lawyers will be put in compromising or uncomfortable situations. For example, if a case calls for going to the male inmates section of the Bilibid prison, obviously a female lawyer in her suit and in her heels would be much more likely to be noticed by those male inmates as compared to a male lawyer, right? You know, that type of thing. On the flip side naman, if a case involved going naman to the female inmates section of Bilibid prison, then bosses would probably prefer to send a female lawyer instead of a male lawyer there. So for me, that preference really just depends on the exigencies of that situation or your strategy for your case or your account. For me, it's not discrimination, it's strategy. So anyway, let's go back to bosses preferring to not send their female lawyers to super uncomfortable or compromising situations. Bosses know that female lawyers can totally hold their own and stand up for themselves and fight back if needed. Female lawyers are fierce. Personally, wala nga ata akong kilala na meek na female lawyer. So personally, I think that bosses preferring male lawyers over female ones for certain types of tasks, very few tasks lang naman, is not discrimination, but it's a matter of either courtesy to those female lawyers or strategy. Another example is that a female lawyer instead of a male lawyer might be preferred to act as the lawyer of a young child in a statutory rape case because they're perceived to be gentler or more patient with children, or because a young child might feel more comfortable with a maternal figure. So are preferences like that sexist? If you go by the textbook definition of sexism, then perhaps they are, but I don't feel that it's disadvantageous to women because it's not something that will hinder your professional growth as a lawyer. Because in my earlier example, let's say I wanted to handle that Bilibid case with the male inmates. All I would have to do is to tell my boss, ma'am or sir, I want to handle that case, assign it to me. And they would assign it to me. No issue. So those preferences don't bother me because they do not limit women lawyers professionally. I mean, I personally never handled any of those Bilibid cases. I was not one of the lawyers who went to this faraway country when the mother company was thinking of expanding its business operations to that foreign country. Instead, they sent a male lawyer. But I got promoted pa rin, and that male lawyer who went abroad to that faraway country, he didn't get promoted. He's still a staff lawyer. So my point is, don't read too much into the preference for male or female lawyers in some occasional work situations. That preference does not happen a lot, and at the end of the day, if you work hard, your efforts will be recognized regardless of whether you're male or female. Next question naman, do I feel like I have to prove myself at work in order to be respected by my male colleagues? No, no, I don't. As a background, in the corporation where I work, we're composed of 8 department heads. Out of those 8 heads, only 2 of us are female. And if you include our president and our COO, both of whom are male, then we're actually only 2 out of 10 who are female. Also, my staff in my department, which is legal and compliance, they're male. My staff are male. So actually, the fact that us female heads are outnumbered by the male heads actually makes me feel like I'm even more respected as a female lawyer in the workplace. Law is, or at least was, a very traditionally male-dominated field. And I feel that the fact that I'm doing pretty okay in a traditionally male-dominated field, despite not being a man, actually makes my colleagues respect me even more. So anyway, that is my short kwento/story time of the day. Kakauwi ko lang actually, and I just felt like sharing this topic with you guys. I thought about it while I was driving home. You know, assuming for the sake of argument that there was sexism or misogyny in the workplace, you best believe that female lawyers wouldn't take it sitting down. We wouldn't and shouldn't allow it. Dami-dami nating inaral, dami nating in-endure, tapos i-discriminate lang tayo. Equality and equal rights were never handed over to females on a silver platter. We had to fight to get it. And no doubt that we're going to fight to keep it. Okay, as my last word in today's kwentuhan, because gutom na ako and I want to eat dinner, I just want to say that I love it when young girls aspire to be lawyers, when female lawyers are promoted based on merit and go on to become lady bosses, when females are domesticated and know how to cook and how to clean, but are also driven and successful in their careers, when girls don't shy away from their ambition and instead embrace it, when female professionals thrive and excel and do well and just kill it in their professions. I love that. It's very refreshing and liberating to break the norms of a patriarchal society, a society wherein leaders are statistically typically male. Even if we see women today in careers which used to be typically male, like female lawyers, female engineers, women are still fighting for their space as leaders in the workplace. So if you're one of those girls I mentioned, those ambitious girls who reach for the stars, embrace it. Embrace your drive and your ambition. Embrace it, because by doing so, you're also empowering other women to do the same. So that's really it, you guys. That's it for today's kwentuhan. Hopefully you learned something. I hope I was able to shed a bit of light on one of the not so frequently talked about aspects of legal practice. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Please also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification bell below so that you guys are notified of all my future videos. Also, please do leave me a comment if there's anything that you'd like me to discuss in my future videos. Topic suggestions are very, very welcome. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and COVID-free. See you in my next video. Bye!
You're so sweet. Thank you for visiting me. How's everybody? You're so cute. Hi, you're so cute. That's you, Pancho. That's you, Pancho. Who's that handsome bulldog? That's you. That's you. Cute. Oh, so adorable.
Wait, are you gonna throw up?